man who's going to control the money is going to be Tim Geithner in the next administration. Detroit's big three are hoping he'll spend $25 billion on them. Let's see what Michigan Congressman Thaddeus McCotter thinks of today's cabinet news. Congressman, what do you make of that?
Well, we're all hoping for the best. As you know, we've seen a bad decision in Washington regarding what you've just referenced as the rescue to nowhere. And we hope that this Obama administration can learn from some of the mistakes of the past of the Wall Street bailout. And as you point out, Neil, there are a lot of questions when one person zigzags. Let's hope his predecessor tries to stay a better course.
Well, his predecessor was in making that course and making those changes as a lieutenant, to be fair, but still making the course. So now the question has to be whether people are so soiled by this whole rescue nonsense that they say, no mas, that's it, we're done with this nonsense, and the auto industry can take a hike.
Well, the problem is, Neil, is that no one in Congress has the expectation that we can repeal the ESA, the Emergency Stabilization Act, as quickly as Paulson went backwards and repealed the TARP that a lot of us said was never going to work. So the sad situation is we're faced with a horrible policy that's very unfair, and you're going to continue to see the $700 billion continue to fly to Wall Street to go into places like healthy banks that don't even want it. So the question is, how do we live within the paradigm that you and I and others knew was never going to work in the first place and actually minimize the damage?
I'm sorry, sir. So let me ask you this. Do you think that the $350 billion that would be left for President Obama to do with as he sees fit, obviously not without Congress saying what that fitness is, that he should return it, he should use it for the auto industry, is it just free play money? What is it?
I think the fundamental problem is out there is that this top-down solution from Wall Street, as Paulson himself has noted in front of our Financial Services Committee, it is the foreclosure crisis. It is real working people's ability to pay their mortgages and stay in the homes that threatens everything even Mr. Paulson has set up. The fundamental goal of any administration right now would be to ensure that families can stay in their homes, that communities can be stabilized, that there is no new toxic assets, quote-unquote, put onto the marketplace which is already overburdened with them. That will then restore investors and bankers' confidence that the market is beginning to stabilize at the grassroots level, and that should be the focus of any administration.
Well, as they say, good freaking luck on that. All right, but let me ask you a more generic question, since you're in Michigan and all of that. This notion that the auto industry is going to get something, maybe with some conditions attached, but it's not a matter of if but when. Do you share that view? Do you agree with that view?
No, I believe that there's a possibility, but Congress has to do its job. The auto companies and the UAW have to do their job and show, one, that there has been restructuring process in place, which I can attest to, having had a plant closed and had people in my district laid off and retirees lose their benefits.
So you would be against, Congressman, I'm sorry, you would be against a bankruptcy filing, that would be too lethal, or what?
Yes, both for economic prosperity reasons and national security reasons. Fundamentally, what a lot of Republicans seem to miss, Neil, is this. You cannot let the arsenal of democracy go into bankruptcy in a time of war and expect to remain a superpower and expect to be able to exert and defend your interests throughout the world. Now, no one is saying
that's a little strong-arming, isn't it? But you know what I'm saying? I know what you're saying.
Absolutely true,
but you're saying,
Neil.
look, if we go under, there goes our defense.
Well, first, yes, we will not outsource America's defense to countries that may not agree with our foreign policy. Secondly, the most important thing is if you are from the position that you want to make sure foreclosures do not increase an already toxify an already dangerously toxic market, when you talk about the number of people employed in the auto industry going under, people who are paying their mortgages, working hard, if they go out of their homes and go onto the foreclosure crisis, even under Paulson's theory, which I do agree the problem is foreclosures, you're creating an even bigger problem than you had. More importantly, from my perspective, what you have to understand is you have to put equity into a bad policy. It is very difficult to continue to pay healthy banks hundreds of billions of dollars when they don't even want it, and then turn around and say we will let the manufacturing sector of the United States go under. The big three is in Washington today, not because of their initial restructuring plan, which they did not ask for any help with. They are there because of billions, hundreds of billions, $100 billion in unfunded CAFE mandates slapped on them. They are there because of the failure of Wall Street and the failure of a bailout when free market solutions would have unfrozen our credit market faster. They are there because of a host of things Washington has done to them since Ralph Nader put out unsafe at any speed. And so when they were restructuring and wanting to be left alone, they never came with their hand out until Washington and Wall Street did a bang-up job on it.
Okay. Congressman, very well put. You're very good at this stuff, Congressman.
I learned from you, Neil.
Very good having you on. You expressed your views very, very well. The fallout from Barack Obama's news today after this.